Hello guys and welcome back to the S&S Football Podcast. I'm back again on my own. Well, I say on my own. Morgan's not with us today. The other Morgan's not with us today. I'm just done a quick live because I thought it's transfer deadline day. We cannot go all day without doing a live of some form because that's what we're all about. We all love the transfers. It's always great limbs. But today I'm joined by a guest who is making his S&S Football Podcast debut. He is the watch-along king, I think is the best way to describe this bloke. The watch-along king. He's going to have an absolute mental show tonight for the rest of transfer deadline day. He's going from 6 p.m. all the way up until midnight. So please welcome Kieran Rants.
Hello. I love the title, the watch-along king. I love that. But yeah, you know what, Braden? I want to thank you for letting me on today. And as you said today, it's going to be a mental day. So we will see what happens.
We will, mate. We will. It is a big day. It's transfer deadline day. Jim White loves it. We all love it. How are you feeling ahead of your stream tonight? Because it's gonna be mental, really, isn't it?
It will be mental. I'll tell you that much now. You know, I'm trying to get a little suit going so we look professional. You know, a little bit smart. But seriously, though, it is going to be insane. You know, we have got 30 plus content creators coming on the channel, and what's good about it is all on for 30 minutes. So really it gives the best sort of, you're most alive for 30 minutes. There's no sort of drop off point. I might get a bit droopy and I might be like, you know what I mean? But everyone else will be good. So it should be a really good night. You know, I'm looking at teams like Everton. I'm looking at teams like West Ham. We are going to get some business done. I've heard actually that Rondon's going to be announced pretty soon. So I'm probably going to go live for that if that does happen. But we'll have to see. And on the Man United side of things, Braden, I don't think you're doing much business, are you? But you never know, do you, with football?
You never know. I mean, I think the dream of all Man United fans was to break up McFred and get a CDM in this window. It hasn't happened, but I guess on the other hand, if you had offered us a few of the players we've signed this window, I think we might have been, okay, fair enough. We'll sort of let that one slide. But, of course, we'll get into a few of the comments already. We got Jack in, Mustafa's in. Yamin's in, we've got Reese, good people in. Make sure if you haven't already, you are dropping us a subscription. We are almost at, I think, 90 subs. I think we're at 85 at the minute, but we want to try and get 100 as well. So make sure you do that. Follow us on Twitter if you want to as well. And if you don't know us from TikTok, make sure you head over to the TikTok as well and drop us a follow. Keep getting confused with them too over there. We're going to start. Do you know what? I would have started with sort of the bigger news, but this comment just come in. Camavinga has gone to Real Madrid, and this was late last night. And I'm not going to lie, I was upset a little bit because I know United have been after him, but at the end of the day, he chose Real Madrid over us and PSG, so we can't really complain. What's your thoughts on sort of Camavinga?
Brilliant youngster. Obviously, I think we all know that by now. He will be one for the future. You know, he will be tearing it up in the La Liga. And it's a smart move for them. Smart move for Real Madrid. You can't complain at it. I think that, has he got much to prove? I guess. But there's no real pressure on him to do, to set the world on fire. I think he'll be a really underrated signing, especially because it was actually last night. It was over a night time and not many people were actually awake for it when it happened. So I'd say smart business by Real Madrid and a Carlo masterclass, some would say, or I used to say. So, yeah, that's what I think of that.
I'm surprised you're not tearing up or trying to restrain yourself from saying them words.
A little bit.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, the kid's 18 or just turned 18. I don't think he's that old. And I would have loved him at United, with Pogba there, with Varane there, and obviously with Ronaldo coming in as well. I think that would have been a good environment. However, with Man United, similar to Jude Bellingham in a way. I think if Jude Bellingham had gone to United, would he have gone straight into that team? And if he had done, there would have been a lot of pressure for him to perform in that central midfield role. Whereas Bellingham went to Dortmund, he's obviously thrived. So maybe for Camavinga, it's better for him to go to Madrid rather than straight into Man United, where he could be expected to start every game and play well. So, yeah. And if he's not going to choose Man United, then we can't really be like, oh, well, come on then, please pick us, because it's just not going to happen, is it? So, yeah, I was a little bit gutted, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. There's plenty of other midfielders out there, but it's just a little bit of a shame that we can't get him in because he is, like I said, a really, really talented youngster. Kieran, prepare your ears because this comment is incredible. Kieran, sorry to say, but Fofana's better than Godfrey.
You know, he's taking the mick here. I know what he's trying to do, Jack. You know what I mean? Come on. Let's not take the mick here. Godfrey's better than Fofana, in my opinion. Now, we can get into the details of why that is, but Godfrey performs, I would say, to the same standard that Fofana does, but for a worse team. So if you can do that, I mean, he leads our back line. You mustn't forget, Fofana, he's got Johnny, right? And he's got Soyuncu. Who's Godfrey got? Godfrey's got no one, really. And Godfrey is the leader in that back line for Everton. And that's why I say Godfrey's better than Fofana, because people don't understand how bad our other centre-backs are. Like Keane, awful. Mina, standard. Holgate, awful. And that's why I rate Godfrey higher than Fofana, because I think he's done it. He's a lot better. I'd say the same ability, really, but Godfrey does it in a worse team. Therefore, I think Godfrey's better. But, yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Braden?
I get your point. I think Godfrey's doing it in a worse team than Fofana is, but they're both incredibly talented defenders, and I think obviously United's defensive situation's sort of been sorted out this summer, but there were definitely two players which United could possibly be looking at for the future. But I know they'll be very expensive. But like you said, it's very close. It's very close. And I don't want to stick my neck on the line just yet and cut bridges of anyone. So yeah, no. If I had to put one in my team, do you know what? I'd go with Fofana, and I'd say that because he's playing for Leicester, and I know how bad that sounds, but because he's playing for Leicester, and as a United fan, Leicester is a rival to us. So if he's performing there week in, week out, which he has been, and getting the plaudits he deserved, then I'd probably just edge Fofana. But Godfrey, no shame in Godfrey there. He's the top English defender as well, which is always good. Before we move on as well, this is an interesting one, and I like how this has been sort of reversed here. So Jack's come in with an extra 2 comments. I'm obviously not going to put them up, but he said, firstly, he's spoken about Damari Gray, was at Leicester, he's now at Everton. And then he also said, Lookman, who used to be at Everton, now going to Leicester. Thoughts on sort of them two? It's a nice little, not a love triangle, but you know what I mean.
Well, look, Lookman got frozen out by Koeman. Therefore, that's why he's gone. And he did quite well at Leipzig, I think it was. And he's done all right at Fulham. But he needs that sort of team to absolutely just smash it out of the park with and get that potential. And I think Lookman's got a lot of potential. And him going to Leicester tells me that he's going to get first team football. He will start for that team. He will definitely start for that team. And if he gets first team football consistently in a team with the likes of Jamie Vardy, Maddison, Harvey Barnes, he will do a lot better than he did at Everton, than he did at Leipzig, than he did at Fulham. So I would say it's a really good move for Leicester. Damari Gray, honestly, I doubted him, but he's already paid back his fee. He's already paid back his fee. Mate, 1.5 million for a guy who is a Premier League title winner. He is. And he is. I don't know what it is about him, but he just
scores.
He has this mentality. He's one of only 2 players to have this mentality, like Godfrey, where he just gives 110% every single time he's on that pitch. Every single time. I can't even say that about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Him and Godfrey are something different. Those two just, for me, you can't sell either of them now. You can't sell them. You could maybe replace Dominic Calvert-Lewin. You could replace Richarlison. You could replace all them. I don't think you can replace Godfrey and Damari Gray. I think there's something in their mentality which is just different from the rest. And if I was a coach or if I was a manager, I would start them every single game because they just want to win. They want to win for the team. And he's just phenomenal. I don't know how we picked him up. I don't know who our scouting team is because we really have some mixed match ones, don't we? We've signed Iwobi, we've signed Delph, same people who signed Delph, Iwobi, Gomez, and all of these are the same people who signed Digne, Damari. How you can get it so wrong but so right at the same time, I don't know. But honestly, man, he's different.
To be fair, it's a bit like Richarlison. I mean, even when you signed him for 50 million, everyone's like, "How much? 50 mil?" But To be fair, if you was to sell him now, you'd get easily.
Oh, yeah. You'd get. I reckon you'd get, depending on who it is. I reckon you get 70 mil. If it wasn't,
well, didn't you reject Barcelona 70 mil a few years ago?
I think we did. But I think we would sell him for 70 mil, maybe even. It'd be somewhere 70, 80 mil. If it was today, it'd be 90 mil. You know, you always have that tax, don't you, on the end of deadline day. But Richarlison, we make our money back from him easily.
Definitely. Right. Now, a comment just come in on the TikTok live. If you're on TikTok live, make sure you head over to the YouTube. And I can't go past it, to be honest. And it'd be rude of me not to. But it goes a little something like this. You sign Grealish. We sign Cristiano.
Yes.
Mate, honestly, I can't put into words the feeling of having him back. And do you know what? It's actually made it better. The fact that, like, Thursday night, I was dead set going to bed saying to myself, tomorrow morning, I'm actually going to wake up and see Man City announce Cristiano Ronaldo. Like, that was my mindset. I was like, he's gone to City, and my world was going to end. So it actually made it 10 times better when he re-signed with us. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to be too biased, but Kieran, just give me your thoughts. Like Ronaldo, he's back in the Prem, 36, 2-year deal at the minute. I mean, I don't know whether there's an option to extend or whether he will do come sort of the end of the 2 years. But what does that do for the Premier League? And for, obviously, you're an Everton fan, but what do you think that does for teams in the Premier League? Does it think teams are looking at that and going, oh, shit? Or do you think they're going, yeah, come on then?
This guy costs $2 million per year, Ronaldo, and he makes his money back through the merchandise, for everything. This guy, I look at this and I go, I'm not scared, but looking at other forward lines, there isn't many like Man United at the moment. Ronaldo up top, Greenwood, Sancho, Fernandes, Pogba. There's not many like it. You've got Liverpool. Okay, I think they're easy to crack down now because people understand how they play. City, it's a bit of a weird one because there's no real target man like a Ronaldo. They are missing someone like a Ronaldo there. And I think Man United is a complete forward line, because every other forward line, you're missing something. City, you're missing a striker. Liverpool, I think it's been found out, to be honest with you, and it's not really working as well as it did. Chelsea, I think they are the only other one with a complete forward line, but it's still quite young. There's no real experience in there apart from like a Lukaku.
Yeah.
But you look at United and you go, oh my God, you have got Fernandes and then you have got Ronaldo. You've got that your spine is a good mix of world-class players plus experience. And then you've got on your wings, you've got youngsters like Greenwood, like Sancho. And it's just a perfect mix in my opinion. It really is just a perfect mix you've got there. And I would say now with Ronaldo, okay, he may not play every single game. But then again, it's Ronaldo. Like, he probably will. It's Ronaldo, mate. He's going to be going until he's 42. He will
I said that. That would not surprise me. He's going to be going for... I reckon he's going to be like, I think he's in a better shape than Ibra. And if you look at Ibra now, he's 39, almost 40, still playing. So I think Ronaldo could easily play till then as well. But honestly, I can't put into words what it's like to have a player of Cristiano Ronaldo's caliber back at Man United, because I think that's what United need. Is we get to semis, we got to a final last year, we didn't win it. We need certified winners. With Varane coming in, Ronaldo, these are winners, and these are players who know how to win. And it's unbelievable the fact he's back, because we've always said, oh, he can come back. He might come back this summer, and then this summer he might come back. And then the City stuff happened. It was like, oh, you are absolutely joking me. Like, it was obviously horrible. And then bang, on Friday from about 1 p.m, onwards, it was just City's gone. It's all United. Yeah. Done, announced in the evening, and it was incredible. Like, it was such a good time to be alive, to be honest. But I'll be honest. I mean, like I said, you didn't even mention Rashford in that front line. I mean, he's still out injured. I mean, unfortunately, Ahmad's got an injury as well, because he was going to go out on loan, but he'll be there or thereabouts when he's back from his injury. So, Man United have got a hell of a squad. I still just fear for that midfield. Like, not obviously Bruno, but just that defensive midfield. But like I said earlier, if you had said to me, you're going to get Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho this window and that's it, I obviously would have bitten your hand off, to be honest, because that's just ridiculous. So I can't really complain too much. Cavani's going to stay. That is confirmed. I don't think there is. Obviously, Dan James is the only outgoing. We'll speak about him a little bit more later on. But yeah, it seems a little bit quiet on United outgoings at the minute. Same with incomings. I think it's very, very silent, to be honest. I mean, there isn't much coming in, and I think it will stay that way as well.
Yeah.
Again, the next greatest player of the arguably greatest player of all time move this window, Lionel Messi to PSG. I mean, again, when that message come through, similar to Ronaldo's, that he was going to leave Juventus, when Messi come through saying he will not continue at Barcelona, I was like, oh my God, what is going on? Because the thing I couldn't believe, and for people who are OGs of this channel would have known, January transfer window, I was on it like most days, just bailing out stuff because it was good fun and it was lockdown as well. And Messi was obviously in his final 6 months and no one had really gone to him as like a pre-contract agreement. So I was like, he just is going to stay. Like, he just is going to stay at Barcelona. Seemed that way. They were agreeing the contract and it got to the contract. He'd taken like half a pay cut. And then they're like, yeah, so we don't have the money. So we have to let you go. And I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. He's ended up at PSG, who seems to have signed everyone this window. Along with Ramos, along with Donnarumma, Wijnaldum, Hakimi. Surely PSG have got to at least be in a Champions League final this year.
No, that's the expectation, definitely. That's definitely the expectation. You cannot expect anything less than a league double and at least semi-finals in the Champions League. Because you look at that front line, you go Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, Messi, Verratti, Guai, or even Wijnaldum. Then left back. I think left back's the only spot really without a world-class player in it. That's the only spot. You know, you've got 2 world-class goalkeepers in Donnarumma and Navas. Right back, you've got, what's his name? I forgot who's playing. Hakimi. You got Hakimi, yeah. I totally forgot about him. Centre backs, Ramos, Marquinhos, Kimpembe. It's unfair. It is unfair. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it. But you look at that and you go, it's unfair. And Pochettino has to make it click. And if Pochettino doesn't even win, I mean, absolute riots if they don't win Ligue 1. Absolute riots.
It'd be ridiculous. It's like,
yeah.
Did you know they should have got Theo Hernandez at left back? I know they were linked with him.
Or even Luca Digne. Luca Digne for them would have been phenomenal. I reckon Luca Digne, if you gave us 60 million for him, they would have gone, yeah, sure. Luca Digne would have gone. You know what I mean? Yeah. 60 million for him, they would have taken that. Just, it is mad how, like, it's nearly perfect, that team. It's nearly perfect. But it seems too perfect. You can never have, in my opinion, if your team's perfect, something wrong. Because your team should never be perfect. There should always be something you need to work at.
Yeah.
Because
like when Liverpool won the league, like I said to a couple of my mates who were Liverpool fans, I think it was a season or in the summer leading up, I said the area you need is realistically you need Coutinho back, a player that's going to get you a lot of goals from midfield because they obviously had their front three, they had their back four settled, and they had their midfield. But I felt they needed more goals from a midfielder like a Coutinho. Didn't need it though, did they? They just didn't need it. They had their midfield three and their front three, and they destroyed everyone that season. So, yeah. Sometimes, like you said, you don't need a perfect team. You do not need it.
You always need to be. In my opinion, you always need to be working on at least one position. You always need to be looking forward when you're in a team. So, if I'm looking at Everton at the moment, if I'm looking at City at the moment, what do they need to improve on? A striker.
Got
loads of goals. They won the league last year without one. But they'd benefit so much more if they got a striker. Then you look at the year after that, I would say it's to replace the leadership of Fernandinho potentially or someone else like that. So maybe Diaz could come into that role.
I still think a left back maybe as well because I know they play Walker and Cancelo out there, but they're not like left backs, if that makes sense. Yeah. They've got Zinchenko and obviously we all know about the other French left back, which isn't currently playing for City. So I think that's another area as well. But, I mean, let's be real here. City win the league without a striker and a proper left back anyway, wouldn't they? So it doesn't really matter.
But there's always somewhere to improve, and you can still win a league though without being perfect. So I think that's why maybe they're that's why PSG could still win it, or because it's still not a fully perfect team. So, yeah,
Definitely.
We'll have to see though, won't we?
Yeah, but a big player you mentioned who is going to be staying at PSG is Kylian Mbappe. And I'm not going to lie, at one point I did think he was going to go to Real Madrid this window. He's staying, so that means we are going to see Messi, Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, Icardi still in the mix. Like, that is ridiculous. And Mbappe, a lot of Liverpool fans, and you can probably enlighten me as well, seeing as you're an Everton fan, seem to have this weird obsession that Mbappe is going to sign for Liverpool. And I'm trying to tell them that, mate, you spent like a packet of quavers this window. You're not going to sign him for free because you won't be able to afford it. Like, he just is going to go to Madrid next year on a free, isn't he?
Thing is, I don't get this whole why Liverpool fans think they're going to spend loads of money on Mbappe. Like they're not going to. FSG won't. Like, my problem with Liverpool is, I know we're derailing a little bit here, right? But
no, it's fine. We always derail.
Is why are you not investing about 80 million in that team right now? Oh, it's all good having contract extensions and everything else like that, but you need to invest in the future. I would expect, as a Liverpool fan, minimum a right winger or left winger to replace one of the front line if they get injured, or for the future, a bit like the Jota signing. I'd expect another centre midfielder to replace Gini Wijnaldum. Yeah. I would expect a backup right back, in my opinion, as well, and then deck out your bench. You look at that bench, and it's one of the weakest. It is the weakest in the top four.
Well, let's face it. When they won the league, they had on their bench Shaqiri, Chamberlain, Origi. That was pretty much it in terms of their bench, and they were lucky they didn't get many injuries. Origi's not there. Shaqiri left this window. Chamberlain ain't the player he was. I look at their bench and go, if Liverpool get injuries, like I know they're okay with Robertson because Tsimikas is playing now and he's doing all right. But centre back, they're fine because they've got Konate in as well now. But if anywhere else, like front forward line, I know they've got Jota and Firmino and stuff. But mate, I don't trust their squad depth.
My question is, who replaces Fabinho if he gets injured? Who replaces Trent? Who replaces Salah? Those three positions there on the key positions for Liverpool. And who replaces them? Okay, Shaqiri. Exactly. He's gone now, You have... I couldn't even name you a centre mid they've got. You could
Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones, yeah. No one plays the role of Fabinho does. And if he gets injured, I'm sorry, they're really screwed. Yeah. Trent, Reece Williams, I think his name is, but he's going out on loan now.
Nat Phillips.
Yeah, I just look at it and I go, you should be doing what you're doing with Robertson and Tsimikas in every position at least. And they could have done it. Because I would even argue, right, get someone like a Damari Gray in at Liverpool. Or get in. I know you're not going to find someone like a Damari Gray, but even a Townsend would do bits for you. You know what I mean? I know you hate to say this now, but you're looking at the likes of Spurs and Arsenal. They've got a stronger bench than Liverpool do at the moment. Yeah, that's how low it's got. That's how weak their team is, and I really do fear for Liverpool.
I wouldn't probably put Arsenal in that, but definitely Tottenham.
Yeah, no. Well, you look at Arsenal, right? Ramsdale in goal, better backup. Okay, Holding. Centre back up. I mean, not better than Liverpool's, right? Then you've got Tavares. Centre mid, Lokonga will be a backup. Front line as well. Who have they got on the front line? Either Laka or Orba will be dropped. Balogun's there. And Ketia. I mean, they're not world class, but it's on the same level as Liverpool, in my opinion. Really.
Fair enough.
That's how weak, in my opinion, that's how weak Liverpool are. They've got one of the strongest starting 11s, but bench wise, they are just it's awful, man. It's awful for them.
Right, I agree. I do think they need to seriously invest in their squad depth. But hey ho, it is what it is. It's not me to cause a fuss. We're gonna continue on sort of the Premier League theme. We'll come back to the Premier League and we're going to go back to Everton, but this time on an outgoing that happened today. Kieran thought straight away, Moise Kean back to Juventus. I have to admit, when you first signed him, I was like, how have you, that Eddie Hearn meme, how can you prefer Brannigan's roast beef and mustard? How have you signed him when he's bagging goals in Serie A and the Champions League? He's playing with Ronaldo, and then he's joining Everton, and then I think he scored like 2 goals or something.
I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Money, I guess. Yeah, look, Moise Kean, he is a top talent, but he's too arrogant, in my opinion. He's a top player in Everton. He only knows how to play with big teams, with big players. He's phenomenal next to Ronaldo. He's phenomenal next to the players in PSG, like Neymar, like Mbappe. When it comes to Everton, he doesn't work. He throws a strop. He throws an absolute strop, in my opinion, whenever he puts an Everton shirt on. Because he's been, in his career, he's been at Juve. He's been at PSG. He's not been at, you look at the difference. This is how I like to say it. You look at the difference between Godfrey and Moise Kean, right? Moise Kean's played at Juventus and PSG. Godfrey's played at York, Norwich, and then came up to Everton. One of them, in my opinion, is going to play for Everton more and want to be an Everton player more than the other one. Because Moise Kean doesn't. He knows he's going to get a move back to Juventus. He knows he's going to get a move back to PSG if he wants to, right? But Godfrey has to work for it, in my opinion. Godfrey has to work to show why he is a Premier League player. Moise Kean doesn't feel like he has to do that. Moise Kean, in my opinion, feels like he already has proven that he is when he hasn't.
Yeah.
And look, good luck to him. He'll be a top quality player for Juventus. When he's got Chiesa, when he's got all these other really high quality players next to him, he's phenomenal. But when he's got Demarai Gray, when he's got Townsend next to him, he doesn't want to work. So, in my opinion, it is good riddance, but good luck to you because you are going to do well. So, let's have a look. Let's see what happens.
Definitely. And to be fair, it's good you mentioned the PSG loan move because I genuinely forgot he was at PSG last year. Like, just slipped my mind completely. So, thanks for bringing that up because again, bang, completely forgot.
Can I just say about Moise Kean as well? He will score 15 goals at Juventus next year.
Yeah,
he will score 15, 20 goals next year because he is a top quality player, but he doesn't want to play for Everton. So it may seem as like they're getting a bargain. They are getting a bargain, but he doesn't want to play for us. So it's the best.
What was the fee? What was the fee in the end? I don't think I caught the fee.
2-year loan move, obligation to buy, and it's like 25 million or something. It's a really bad deal. It's a really, really bad deal. It's a bargain for Juventus. It's Juventus's dream, to be honest with you. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what the deal is looking like when it comes to it. I'll try and have a look at it when I'm on my live stream later. I'll see if there's any that pops in. Hopefully someone will pop in and tell me how much it was. But it's about 25 million, I think. Yeah,
definitely. I like I said, I didn't catch the fee. I just seen he went. Visions kept it simple by going love. Keep the Ronaldo comments coming in. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. Do you know what? Because you're on, we're going to continue on Everton.
Go on.
Now, we mentioned Luis Diaz and Rondon to Everton earlier. Again, Rondon's close. Diaz.
Yeah, Rondon is a done deal, pretty much, I think. It will be a done deal. I think personal terms are agreed, but yeah. What was that? Sorry, I interrupted then, didn't I?
No, that's all right. Rondon to Everton is pretty much done deal, as you mentioned that. Luis Diaz, a player that's flagged against City, Champions League. Is it close? Do you think Everton will get this done? Because I know you mentioned earlier that you said Everton like doing stuff late in the window. Is this a play you can see coming?
I think we'll pull off a madness. I think we will get it done. I think we will. Because I was just going to go on Twitter now, but apparently he's not coming anymore. But anyway. What I think about Diaz is I think he wants to come. I think Porto don't want to sell him now. That's the problem. So Diaz wants to come to Everton, but Porto don't want to sell him. And our offer pretty much is like 20 million plus James Rodriguez. And Porto look at that and go, no, we want 30, 40 million for him. But I don't know, man. I'm just going to read this out now. Everton and Porto are still working on a possible exchange for Rodriguez and Diaz, but it's a very difficult operation. Still no news. I think it's just Everton can't buy, like don't have the money to, or else they'll break FFP rules.
Yeah.
And we could just, I think if this was last window, we would just outright buy him for 35 million, 40 million, right? But because we need to, add James into the mix and all the others in it as well, and it's just a really complicated deal, which probably won't get done because it's too complicated to do it on deadline day. So
a little bit too late, do you think?
A little bit too late, I think. And I'd love it to happen. I would love it to happen, and we'll see what Fabrizio says soon. But I think that it's just too complicated to do right now. And that's why, because we don't have the money, and the offer we're giving them is Rodriguez plus money, and they don't want that. They just want money outright, I think. Yeah. So that's the problem with it. A little bit too late, I think.
Definitely. I'd agree. I think it'd be a good player to get in for you guys, because you said you've been looking at a few wingers, and obviously you've got Townsend and Gray in. But I think you want like the big shiny signing, if that makes sense. The nice shiny thing. So,
the thing is, if we don't get Diaz, or we don't get anyone who, like, we've spent I reckon Rondon will cost like 2 million, but we've spent like 3 million max this summer.
Yeah.
That is how much we've spent. 3 million. Like, we've got a lot of players in. We've got a lot of good players in, right? But no big signing, which could be better, because it could make it so people underestimate us and everything else like that. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
We'll see. Long way to go. There's still a long way to go.
Yeah, I'll be alive for 6 hours. So, I mean, you'll get all my full you'll get my raw reactions as well when we find out we're signing Phil Jones on a. I would not put that past us. Phil Jones on a permanent for like 5 years or something.
Please, honestly, you can just have him. Just have him.
It will happen.
Take Fred with him as well. To be honest, like, you can have Fred and all. Zach's back in with Sue. You love to see it. So cheers, Zach. Great limbs. Apparently Luis Diaz is rubbish.
Griffo's a shit starer. Sorry, excuse my French. But he's a little. We can't hate Griffo. It's on the channel.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Of course, any language is allowed on here, but so yeah, don't worry about that. We're going to go to a bit of news which is sort of more up to date. Then we might go to a few that happened a little bit of time ago. Spoke about Lookman to Leicester. This one last night. I'm not gonna lie. If you haven't seen my TikTok already, I've done a video on this on my TikTok, and I was kind of feeling a bit sad for this player leaving my club. And it is Dan James, and he potentially going to Leeds for 30 million, around 30 million. I don't know if that's euros, pounds, whatever. But for me, it is time for him to move on. And as much as I hate to say it, because I look back and I think he has been exactly what United paid for in 15 million. He's been a squad player who played massively in the first season due to injuries to Martial and Rashford. He's played in some massive games when we've done doubles over City. Even when we played City last season, he was still coming in, doing a really good job. So there's been certain games where he's done everything you could ask of him. But he's not the player. He's not the right winger where you go, he's a Man United right winger. He is, a more defensive right winger option. And like I said, I think it's time for him to move on with the likes of Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford, even Martial playing on the wing, the possibility of Ronaldo maybe even playing on the wing. I can't see him getting game time. Similar with Lingard as well. I just can't see them getting this game time. And fair play to him. He looks like he's off to Leeds. He looks like he is off to, continue his career rather than sit on United's bench for no reason. And finally get his move, because we all seen the Leeds doc and it was all there. The shirt was up and everything, but didn't quite go through. But yeah, Dan James to Leeds is I think, almost done. But Kieran, your club seemed to have a little bit of a fiddle in with Dan James, trying to do a little Ronaldo hijack.
Let's just get this straight now. It's been confirmed by Fabrizio. It didn't happen. I'll get the quote up now. Actually, it didn't happen. It was just Footy Insider. It was. Fabrizio's been tweeting like mad today, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But he said, when did Dan James get announced? But anyway, he basically said we didn't even dabble in it. And you know what? How you've got 30 million for him, I don't have a clue.
But the other thing that annoys me is that why couldn't we have done this deal earlier on in the window, and then that's your 30 million to maybe invest into a midfielder? That's the only thing I've got against it. But of course, I'm not trying to complain too much, because we still have an excellent window. But for United to get a properly good win, 10 out of 10, or even, to be honest, it'd be 11 out of 10 window, it'd be a midfielder. So that's the only issue I've got. But, Dan James to Leeds, 30 million. it is what it is. And yeah, would you? I asked this. Do you know what? I want to ask you this question as well. I asked this to Villa Morgan, who hopefully most people know who watch regularly. Villa Morgan, co-host as well, Villa fan. I said to him, I think it was when Grealish was about to leave. Actually, would you accept Dan James at Villa? Would that be a player that you'd welcome into Villa and think that's a good signing? And he said no, because they'd signed Bailey and they signed Buendia in them areas, so he felt that other areas were more important. Would you have accepted Dan James at Leeds? Like,
no. Don't even not even a question. Put me in right wing and I'd do a better job than him. Honestly, what does he offer? What's he offer? Could not name me one thing that he offers.
He's quick.
I don't care if you're quick. I don't care. I'll get a Dharma Traore. Mate, if he's going for 30 million, I'll get a Dharma Traore for 40. Like, I don't care I'll get Usain Bolt. I don't need Dan James. He doesn't offer anything. He didn't offer anything at all. Like, I'm sorry. I hate to piss on your parade here, but he's awful, man. He's awful. And you've got 30 million for him. It is a bigger steal than Alex Iwobi at Everton. And I will say that now. Because he doesn't have, this kid doesn't have any skills. This kid doesn't even have any end product. This kid just is awful. I'm sorry. I don't know how he's got... I don't honestly understand how you've got 30 million for him. I don't know where this money has came from. I honestly could not tell you. You've done Townsend, Iwobi, Damari Gray getting over him. And I'd rather play James Rodriguez on the right. Like, honestly, I don't know how. I don't know how. I think he's awful. I don't know how he's a Man United player. I really don't. Also, I've just said share my screen there, right? If you want to, it's up to you. But that's the tweet there. That's the tweet from Fabrizio. There you go. That's confirmed. That's confirmed. You've never been in the race.
No. Okay. I'll let you off. I'll let you off. But
I was going to say, it's just such an Everton signing, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? If we but he's awful. I'm sorry. He's awful. I'm sorry. I don't know how he's a Man United player. I don't know how he was. Bielsa might get the best out of him, but...
I was going to say, that's the next point is, do you think the move to Leeds will help improve him? Do you think, like, I don't know how old he is now. Is he 22, 23-ish? I want to go with something around that age. Do you think there is that possibility where, like, let's be real. I want to look at Dan James, like I mentioned, he's quick. I think he's an okay dribbler in terms of the fact he could use his pace whilst dribbling. I wouldn't class him as, a close control good dribbler, but, he uses his speed to his advantage. Do you think there'll ever be a time where maybe he improves on his end product a little bit and he could end up back at a top 6 club? Because, he's still young. He's got good attributes. He's played for Man United. So, I mean, he hasn't been like, I'm trying to think of a really terrible signing that we've made. You can probably name one quicker than me. Not even Fred, to be honest. But you know what I mean? It's not like he's been to United, just been absolutely awful, and then we've somehow got 20-odd million for him. He's actually played games and done all right in a few games. Yeah. But like you said, probably the negatives outweigh the positives for him, and there's better quality players in there now. So do you think there is a time that he improves now at Leeds? Because, they're all about running over at Leeds over there. They love their running, and he could get back to a top 6 club, wherever that may be.
He'll do well under Bielsa, because Bielsa's wanted him for God knows how long. So obviously there's something about him. All right. And I would say now that it's if plus maybes, to be honest with you. I think if Bielsa gets the best ability out of him, I think he will always be just a mediocre player, in my opinion. Like, the best he can get is Europa League football. I don't see him going to the top. I don't see any potential in this kid. I'm sorry, I don't. He's still young, I guess, but I just think he's like a Dharma Traore a bit. You probably have the same career.
To be honest, I'd completely agree. I think he's in the same bracket. It's just Dan James is Welsh and has less muscles and a little bit younger. But I put them in both in the same bracket. Even when I watched Dharma Traore, he absolutely tears teams to pieces when he gets in them positions. Like, there was one season where his end product was spot on and he was getting goals, assists, like, he was unreal. And when that doesn't happen and he does not finish it, he's not assisting, that's when it's just like, he's getting in them positions, but he's not finishing. So to be honest, I put them both in the same bracket. Joy, are you ready for the next Griffo comment? Because Dan James is better than Diaz.
See, that's why I love Griffo, you know what I mean? That's why I love having him in. He just makes me laugh, you know what I mean? So, good joke, mate, good joke. Also, I'm just seeing if there's any Jesse Lingard rumours, because on someone who may leave United, I think Jesse Lingard, look, he's come out and said he's going to stay at United, right? But if we bid 30 million for him, I reckon they'd take.
I reckon he'd go.
If Everton like crap their pants at like 9 o'clock, and we bid not 90, sorry, 30 million for Lingard,
take 90.
Yeah, not 90, mate. I stopped supporting Everton if we bid 90 million for Lingard. I think there's a possibility we could go in for Lingard tonight, out of nowhere. Really,
that wouldn't surprise me. I think West Ham are out of it, though. West Ham are out of it.
It's such an Everton signing if we do that. Watch us sell someone to free up the FFP, and we go and sign Lingard. Like, it is such an Everton sign, and I'm sorry it is. So I hope not. But I thought if you want to address the Jesse Lingard situation, I think it's stupid that he is staying at United. He's not.
I think he should be doing what James is doing, and realizing that I'm not getting game time. I need to go. And West Ham was literally open for him to go, because I think United eventually would have negotiated a lesser fee for him to go. But with them getting,
they've just spent 25 million on that Vlasic.
So he's gone.
So they're actually willing to pay for something, aren't they? You know what I mean?
Exactly. So he's not going to go back there, and I think he should have gone, because I don't see him getting in anywhere. Like, I'm being brutally honest. The only position I can see him playing is centre mid, and that's not even in the 10, because Bruno's going to be playing. So would I put him in over Donny in that position? No. Would I put him in over Fred and McTominay? No, because they're only two defensive-minded players, sort of, maybe. Like, I don't see where he fits. And, again, all this was going like, don't forget, we had Varane wrapped up way before August, like, realistically. So we had all of August to get another midfielder. If you sold Dan James then, you sold Lingard then, maybe got rid of Phil Jones, I reckon that's 50 million plus. 50 million you get there. And then you can invest that into a midfielder and obviously Ronaldo now. Like, this is a frustrating thing, but
you could literally play career mode this year. I'm not even messing. You could play career mode this year and you get away with it.
Well, I've had a comment in on the TikTok saying United should be throwing money at Brighton now for Basuma to try and get him in, and I don't think that's the worst shout, but it's a bit late now, isn't it? It just seems
Basuma's not the guy, though. I don't think Basuma's the guy you're going for. I just don't think. When I think of a Man United centre mid, I don't think of Basuma. I think of someone else, but I'm not sure who that someone else is.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good point. Like, maybe Saul or someone like that, but he's not going, is he? So that's sort of that done, isn't it? We'll see. Neither of us are Arsenal fans, but my God, isn't that club in a bit of turmoil? Like, 3 games, no goals. They've been battered, and now Maitland-Niles is one in out, and he's not going.
Thing is with Maitland-Niles, though, is right. So Arsenal don't want to sell him because they're selling Bella into Real Betis. Fair enough. But Maitland-Niles, right, is not going to be training with the first team anymore. So what's the point in keeping him? That's like us. That's like if Leicester came in for Andre Gomez and they said, we want to buy Andre Gomez, or we want to have a loan for Andre Gomez. They don't get any game time for you. We'll give him some game time in the Premier League and we'll see what happens. Okay, yes, they're a direct rival, but they're not getting any game time anyway, so you may as well give them out on a loan, right? And that's like us saying no, and then going to Gomez. Oh, because you've said all this, you're not training with the first team anymore. You're getting frozen out. I'm like, what's the point? Then the point of freezing someone out is to sell them.
Exactly. But I don't get it. I really do not get it. Like, it is baffling, but I guess Arsenal is in a spot of bother. I
can't wait for this documentary, but I have a feeling they're just going to cut it all out. They will cut it all out for sure. They
can't keep it in. There's no way they can keep. Well, let's face it, they're not going to be able to cut out all the great gems that we're going to see and all the memes, the future memes we're going to be able to use. So there's going to be a couple.
Amazon will want to keep it in, but Arsenal won't. So
definitely.
It won't happen.
Like, even Tottenham did bad like that season come the end, and we still had so Imagine what Arsenal do when they finish like 15th and stay up on the last day thanks to
when they start
a Balogun header.
When they start celebrating because like what Aston Villa did when they start celebrating because they survived. Just survived on the last day.
You got Roy Keane going, celebrations a little bit over the top.
Mate, celebrate. Honestly, that'd be everyone. Imagine celebrating. Do you imagine them celebrate? Oh, anyway, yeah.
Speaking of Arsenal, we've got a hashtag #FreeASM in the comments. We love to see the support for the young baller. But they have signed a player. They signed Tommy Yasu. He was heavily linked with Tottenham. Didn't end up going to Tottenham. He's at Arsenal. I'm going to be brutally honest. I haven't seen nothing of this player. So I can't comment whether he's going to improve them or not. But surely it's better than Rob Holding because I've seen him against City and he was god awful. And Chambers just weren't good.
Well, they're class and matching all of them there as well. Just awful on that back line. So we'll have to see.
To be fair though, I reckon with him, Ben White, and Gabriel, when they all come back and once they've all got over their illnesses or whatever, they've got their injuries, I don't think that's a bad back three if they're going to play that. I think that's okay. I'm not going to go to the extremes and say fantastic, massive improvements. No.
Top 4 defensives. Come on, boys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Varane Maguire. Sorry, it's Ben White geese.
They're better than them, honestly.
So I think it's an okay improvement, and they do need improvement to be fair. So it'll be.
Also, I just found out Andy Carroll is signing for Reading.
I've seen that. Brownham's been.
Go on.
Brownham's been going mental recently because they've signed they signed no one, and then they've got Drinkwater in on loan. Yes. They've got who else? They got Barbara Rahman from Chelsea on loan. They've got who else they signed? Scott Dan on a free.
Yeah, and San Munozet. I can't say this guy's name. Apparently, Newcastle signed someone just.
It is Santiago Munez. It's good.
Yeah, that guy.
Like the goal film.
Yeah, I think he's going. So he's gone.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's some mad deals, isn't there? But we'll have to see as it unfolds, won't we? On the
YouTube
channel, 6 p.m.
If you're not there, then I don't know what you're doing with your life. And I'm looking at myself there, to be honest. And we're going to talk about a couple of Man United players, just quickly go over them because I don't think it's worth staying on for long. Cavani talked about him going to Barcelona because obviously Ronaldo coming in, wanting the number 7. That's not happening, so put that to bed. Lovely stuff. Mm-hmm. And then one thing which was a little bit of rumours, I don't know whether it's picked up at all or you've seen anything, Kieran, we spoke about it, was Anthony Martial potentially to PSG. I don't know if anything's picked up on that. Have you seen anything?
I haven't seen anything. If he gets a move to PSG, I mean, I don't get why they need him. What's his job? They've got a Cardi. I mean, they don't need a backup. I don't know. It's just a nothing signing. It'll be out on loan, if anything, surely. But
it'll be like PSG love a loan, don't they? They love something.
They love it. They love having a loan on these players that don't play, but they're still really good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
didn't they get Mbappe on loan and then option to buy? Yeah. Ridiculous, man. Sometimes. I'll ask you this question now, okay? Because heavily biased probably for yourself, but is he?
Yep. In the context of what a bargain is, I don't want to hear any of this Ronaldo's a bargain. Right, he cost 20 million in total in his wages. I don't want to hear Donnarumma, Ramos, Messi.
Messi on a free though.
They all came in on a free, right? But their wages are 20 plus million each, right? A bargain is 10 million or less overall, everything. Damari Gray's the biggest bargain out there. Can't name me another one. Name me everyone name me one, and I'll debunk why they're not a bargain. Or why they are not, why Damari Gray's better. I will.
Well, TikTok comments if you're there. Can you name us a better bargain?
Messi's not a bargain though. Okay,
he's under 10 mil. So what we're saying, it's got to be a transfer fee under 10 mil.
It's got to be overall less than 10 million. So Messi, for example, right, his wages are well over 10 million. So that's not a bargain because he's still paying 10 plus million for it. Same with Ronaldo. Same with Donnarumma, Ramos, Wijnaldum. A bargain is someone you get for like 10 million or less, and they're on reasonable wages. You know what I mean? They're not just because of a free agent. So I mean, I guess you can still class Messi as a bargain, but if you want to be a bit interesting, I'd say the Mario Gray's bargain of the window.
To be honest, I'd agree, because when you signed for 1.5 million, I was going, really? Like, is it that much? And I was like, oh, he'll just sit on the bench. He won't do anything for Everton. To be honest, he might come on, get a couple of goals like throughout the season. That's why he's got like 2 or 3 already.
Mate, yeah, I told you he's getting 7 goals, and he's getting at least 7 goals, 4 assists this year.
Oh yeah, he's almost halfway there.
I know he is. Like, that's what I'm saying. I said that. I was like, he's just gonna do bits for us.
Do you know what? I'm guessing Griffo is a Wrexham fan because he's on about Paul Mullin and Ben Tozer. If you want to know a fun story about Ben Tozer, he's actually my best mate's cousin, so watch out for that. He's got a bit of a long throw on him, that lad. And he was also at Plymouth at one point, so big up to Ben Tozer. Good little player. But yeah, I don't know. It's
Actually,
10 mil. I don't know.
It'll be Calvert Dragon. Exclusive on the Kieran Rance channel tonight. Calvert Dragon is going to come live, tell me who. I'm going to ask him what team he's going to be moving to next. Okay.
Oh,
we're in negotiation talks at the moment. I'm trying to convince him to come on for 10 minutes. But...
Well, it's all right, because one thing we do know is that he has signed on to the Content Creators Cup TikTok FC.
mate, we're actually gonna be fucking balling there, Braden, we are actually winning that,
we're not losing.
No, we know each other. That's the thing. I've said to that lad, the dad. I went on his stream and I went, I'm playing right back because I'm getting game time if I play right back. All right, I am. All right, but I'm not too skillful to go up top, right? But when I'm at right back, prime Coleman, I'm gonna be like, Braden, where are you playing? Where do you reckon? What are you thinking?
Well, my day trade is a centre back, but I'm 5'5", so I don't know how that would fare. So I can play there. Or I reckon I'll be like a Roy Keane number 6, just breaking things up. And
I reckon you, Ben, and Josh in the midfield 3. Fuck. Oh my God, Brexit, man. Honestly, you're gonna know about it. You get you 3 in the midfield, then you get me on the right back spot, get Joe Hall at left back spot. Owen and Nuno at centre back. You're not getting past that. That's the thing. You're not getting past it.
Is there no entry zone?
Carl said he's going up top. So Carl up top with Zayn, Musa on the right. Oh no. Carl on the left, Zayn up top, Musa on the right. You 3 in midfield, me at right back. Look, we got the team sorted by our goalkeeper.
Yeah, no, Cal could just play rush keeper. Cal could be rush keeper.
We have to rush keeper. Could you imagine? I'll be me and Nuno will be storming it at the back when the goalkeeper gets caught out. I'm
trying to head it off the line.
Go. I have to do a Wan-Bissaka, mate, if that happens.
Oh, mate, that's my.
We've got to get who's scoring there, Braden. Who's scoring? Come on, I reckon I'm not getting a goal, but I might get an assist. If I get an assist for Calvert Dragon, mate.
Yeah.
Imagine I was saying this on my stream with Joe, right? And we said I passed the ball. He goes to me. He goes, hypothetically, what if you passed the ball into Cal, right? And then he just missed an open goal. What would you say on your post-match reaction? And I went, well, we mustn't forget. And I was going to make an excuse and go, well, we mustn't forget he's shit. So it's hard to get some goals when it's like that. But no,
it has been raining, so it's been raining.
We mustn't forget it's been raining. That's what I'll say on the post-match interview.
Yeah,
if anything does happen, that's what I'll say. So,
mate, yeah. I'd love to bag a long shot, but we'll see.
Mate, well, we'll have to see. Because you're looking at. I reckon we talked this lad to dad, right? You're a coach, obviously yourself. So we get 4-3-3 going. I reckon we win that. It's about mentality. Or Calvert Dragon, right? Or any one of them. I don't know. I'm not going to name names, right? If any of them want to piss about, I'm sorry, that's not happening. I know it's not happening. It's not happening. We are winning.
We're here to win.
No, we are here to win. That's the thing, though. So, I'm not taking the mick here. We are here to win because I don't care if it's a charity match. I'm traveling down quite a bit, so we need to win. 4-3-3. I think 4-3-3 is actually a decent formation. Put Ben in that number 6, or you in that number 6. Give Ben the captain's armband, in my opinion. Who's your nominee?
What, for captain?
Yeah.
I'm not bothered, to be honest, mate.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't need an armband. You just lead by example.
No, you do. You need someone to lead by example. That's why I'm saying Ben.
Hey, all I'm saying is I used to wear the armband at some point.
Braden, I'm sorry. You need a captain. You do need one.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Maybe Prime Coleman coming on, maybe.
Yeah, I can think of worse, to be honest.
The reason why I want to go right back is because my stamina's awful. So if I want to go for more than 10 minutes, I'll have to go right back.
The staff have just said, you play Ram and I'll play Lamb.
Hey, I don't know. Ben AFC was in charge. Gets the ball. He gets the ball. That when he goes, right, lads, we're playing a 4-3-3, brackets 4 today.
Lamb, Cam, Ram.
Yeah, well, we're playing you up top. And just, oh, God, that'd be a shambles, man.
Right, we'll pull ourselves back onto the transfers just quickly because I'll talk about City a little bit. One player they got in, Jack Grealish, 100 mil. Massive deal. Biggest deal so far. Good for 100 mil, or do you think overpaid just a little bit too much?
It does the job. You're going to pay 100 mil for Grealish, so you have to. Yeah, it's English tax at the end of the day. He's probably worth 80 mil, but English tax, another 20, maybe 10 million plus the captain thing as well. He is the leader at Villa, so it's a job. It's what you have to pay for Grealish. Considering, you could argue 60 million for him, but he's captain of Villa. He's one of the biggest. He is the biggest name at that Villa team, and he's English. I'd say 100 mil's fine.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I was a little bit gutted because I would like to have seen him at United, and I think, obviously a couple of summers back that was a real possibility, but just didn't quite happen. And look, we parted ways, and he's at City now, so.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see how he does, because I think it's very hard to go into that team, that City team, and really struggle in terms of getting numbers on the board when you got such quality players around you in the system Guardiola plays. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting one. And then on the other hand, a player they didn't get in and he's staying is Harry Kane. And I'll be brutally honest, I think it was maybe his time to move on, but Daniel Levy slammed the door shut on him again.
Well. Yeah, it is his time on, but he needs to go. But he could win a Conference League.
Absolutely.
He could.
It's a major trophy.
I'm looking at that Nuno team, and I'm going. They've got good depth. They could go quite far in it. I reckon Kane stays for another year, and then he'll go next year. Because next year is when the strikers will rotate. This year, I think you saw Ronaldo, Messi, all of the sort of the old generation all rotate. Next year will be Mbappe, Haaland, Kane. Those are the ones who are going to be moving next year, in my opinion. So we'll have to have a look out for it. We'll see who moves. But I think next year will be the transfer window of the strikers and the striker rotation. So
just quickly on that then, how do you see the strikers? Because I think we're in agreement. Mbappe to Real Madrid for free is probably most likely going to happen.
Yeah.
Mbappe to not Mbappe, Haaland to join him at Madrid, or do you think he'll take another route? I'd find it very hard for United to sign him now. And before we sign Ronaldo, I would have said, because when Kane looked like he might have gone City, I would have said if Kane goes City, Chelsea get Lukaku. The only two clubs to really get Haaland next summer would be United and Real Madrid, because we haven't really got that striker. But with United getting Ronaldo now, it's a little bit like, I don't think he of course he'd fit, but is that the plan? You get Ronaldo for 2 years, but then once that contract's up, you've then got Haaland already there. Is that the plan, or I don't know. Where do you see Haaland and that going?
Mbappe to Real Madrid, Kane to PSG.
Wow.
Haaland to Man City. Right. And I think Barcelona are totally out of it. They don't have any say in it.
Oh, yeah, they're mudded.
I think the pie will crack on for them. Madrid content with just having Mbappe. United will keep Ronaldo for another year, but sell Cavani. Chelsea.
Well, they'll live on a free. Yeah.
Chelsea will be fine with their squad, I think, next year. I think they won't look at the forward line now. And I just look at Haaland and I go, him and that City team, they need a personality. They don't need a striker. They need a personality. Because they've got the goals, and if they bring Harry Kane in, he's a bit bland, isn't he? If they brought a bit of personality to City team and made City more likeable, I think it's not just the goal scoring aspect of Haaland, but you get sort of everything else of him as well, the personality, the funny jokes, everything else like that. And I'm not saying he's going to be joking in the changing room, but what I mean is for the interviews and everything else like that, he has a bit more than what Harry Kane would. So he does both jobs, in my opinion, Haaland, and that's why I think City need him. They need a bit of a personality to that team. Who is it? When you think of Man City, you think of De Bruyne, you think of Fernandinho. Well, they're going to be going soon, so you need someone new in. And I think you'd rather think of someone like a Haaland than a Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Haaland, Fernand Torres, and all of them. That really deadly duo there. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see.
Do you think? Do you think United will go in for any of them next year? Or do you think because Ronaldo?
They'll do their little bid and whatnot. They'll do their little nice little bid and act like they're going in for them. But I think they're content with Ronaldo. I think they will actually look at a centre mid next year. That's what they'll do. They won't look at a striker next year. And if they do buy a striker, it's just for the PR. It's just for to get the share sales and all of that up. So we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. But it's definitely an interesting one. The thought of Haaland or Kane at City is absolutely frightening. And we'll have to wait and see what happens with that, because, like I said, it could be the year where the strikers go everywhere. And then I mentioned strikers. Lukaku's back at Chelsea. I think that was around 98 million euros. Absolute massive transfer fee. Interesting. Beginning of the window, he said he was going to stay, but then by the end of it, he's now a Chelsea player. Firstly, weight-wise, it's definitely a different Lukaku to the one that was at Man United. But do you think this is actually a different Lukaku to the one we've seen at Man United, a one that is going to start turning up in the big games, has a better first touch about him, better dribbling about him?
This Lukaku's going to get 20, 25 goals this season. He will. I'm sorry, he is. This is the best form of Lukaku we will ever see under Tuchel.
Wow.
And I'm saying that now. He will be the best form of Lukaku. We had the young and hungry, energetic Lukaku with Everton and West Brom. We had sort of the mediocre Lukaku with Man United. And we see it Inter Milan. He was getting on with his graft. He was getting on with becoming the complete striker. And I think one more year under Tuchel, and he will be that complete striker. So this year, he'll get 20 goals. Next year, we could be looking at 30.
Wow. So let's leave that question on then. Golden Boot. Who are you going at the minute? This is obviously
Damari
This is before Luis Diaz comes in or anything. Rondon. So who's your money on for the Golden Boot?
Golden Boot goes to Lukaku, my boy. You got to back him, man. You got to back him. He's my childhood. You look back at Everton and whatnot. Yeah. You think of Lukaku, you think of Stones and everything else like that. I think of Naismith as well, but you might not know who he is. But
I know Naismith.
Yeah, just for me, Lukaku, my boy. I love him.
Yeah.
I love him, man.
Couple of comments on that. Firstly, your boy Rob Olsen's off to Sheffield United, or Robin Olsen.
Did you hear that, Dad? Robert Olsen's gone to Sheffield United. Yeah, he's mad, isn't it? Sorry, it's mad, isn't it? He'll go down with his career. It's gone. I told you.
Sheffield United are also bottom of the Championship as well.
I told you he's not a good goalkeeper. He's going to get relegated this season. I'm sorry. Robert Olsen was awful. He was worse than Pickford when he was making mistakes. That's how bad he is. I just don't rate him.
And then second comment is sort of on Ronaldo and Lukaku, saying Mustafa said Ronaldo outscored him in Serie A last season. Obviously, I think Inter did win the league. Juventus, I think, were runners up. I don't think they finished.
No, Juventus were fourth, I think.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they were really far down. Actually, they were really far down.
I didn't know that. But yeah, so is that anything to read into the fact that Ronaldo still outscored Lukaku? Not really.
I just look at it and I go, it's different teams, and it's. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will rotate Ronaldo a lot more than Tuchel will rotate Lukaku. So I have a look at it at that perspective as well. I think that my top three will be Lukaku, Kane, and then Ronaldo, in my opinion. Bold, I know, but I think that Ronaldo will get less game time. That's why.
Is it? To be fair, I'm not even going to doubt that because I could see that happening. But the only thing going against that is, to me, Ronaldo is such an animal and such a machine. He'll be like Bruno, where he's like, I want to play every game. Like, even if I've got a broken leg, I'm still playing. Like, I don't care. Like,
but I think
it'll just be like,
I have a feeling he might pick up an injury. You know when you get that feeling.
Yeah.
I just get that feeling. There's no concrete evidence of that, obviously, but I just feel like I've got that feeling that he might pick up an injury this year. That's why I'm
And then on that as well, we'll continue on strikers. FPL price confirmed. I'm sure Browno and Josh are loving this. Ronaldo, 12.5 million. Is he in?
It's the Dominic Calvert-Lewin, right? I've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Demarai Gray link up. I'm backing for my front line. I'm backing Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Lukaku, and then Lukaku will come in like a week or two, and then it'll be Wilson. I'm not buying into the hype of Ronaldo. I know it's Ronaldo.
Do you know what? I had Kane, and then I was like, I'm not sure. And Lukaku signed, so I was like, I'll get Lukaku in. Now Lukaku is out. Lukaku's out for me. I'm getting Ronaldo in.
You have to buy Ronaldo because you are a Man United fan. Like, that's just a rule.
Thing is, though, I've got to lose one of my United players because I've got Shaw, Greenwood, and Fernandes already. So I need to get rid of one of them. I think Shaw might be on the chopping block, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we'll see, won't we? We will see.
Definitely. But there was one other thing I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember what it was now. This is it. No, I've got it. This is to wrap up the stream. If you stay to the end, please make sure you have dropped us a sub, like the video as well. Obviously, if you don't know who Kieran Rance is, you are literally living under the biggest tombstone of all mankind. Literally, he's everywhere. Go to Jimbo down the chip, he'll tell you where Kieran is. Like, honestly, he is absolutely everywhere. So make sure you go check him out. He's doing a massive live stream tonight, 6 till midnight, transfer deadline day. It's going to be mental, great scenes. But to finish off the stream today, who's won the transfer in your opinion? So when I mention who's won the transfer, what I mean by that is I don't mean, it's PSG or Man United because they've signed all the big name players. I mean, it's areas where you look at a team at the beginning of the window and you've gone, yeah, they've actually strengthened in all the areas that they had as weaknesses and they've smashed it. What will, no rush at all. Like, I'll let you think it through because it's a big decision. There's a lot of teams to think about. Comments, let me know as well. Who has won the transfer window in your opinion? Do you know what? I'll do mine at a later date when the window's done. But it won't be Man United unless we get CDM in. That's what I'm saying.
I think Tottenham are on course too if they get a right winger because they've got a full squad then. If they get a right winger,
Gill, technically.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. If he starts, and they need a right back, so they're on track. United, if they get a midfielder,
they're getting Emerson right back, aren't they?
Yeah. So if they buy that Emerson and then I look at their squad again.
Traore,
if they get Traore and Emerson, they've won the transfer window, in my opinion. However, I think that we can't say Everton. Unfortunately, we need a lot more improvements to win.
We've also got definitely not Man City. I'd have to agree. I think striker and left back are the areas they need to improve.
I think that. I think Birmingham City have won it in the Championship. Can I just say they and they got Troy Deeney. So can I just say shout out to Birmingham City?
Tahith Chong as well. Yeah.
No, Birmingham City have done well in the Championship, but back onto Premier League. I think that. I don't think anyone's won it. I don't think anyone else. Everyone's missing someone. I can't name one person who's won it. Unless I'm missing someone. Like, I think PSG are the closest ones. But they need the left back still.
Yeah.
I honestly think no one's won the transfer window this year. Because everyone who's won it, like all the contestants, still miss one or two people. Like, Man United are on course too if they sign a centre mid. You know, maybe Leicester.
We got to hang on. We got to win there.
If Leicester win, if Leicester get Lookman, I'll agree with that. because they've got Bertrand as well as backup.
Yeah, definitely. What about I don't know. You want it? What did you make of Palace's window? Because I thought it was some really interesting signings. Like a couple of them prem proven. You look at Anderson. I thought Guehi's a top sort of centre back. Gallagher's interesting player. Elise from Reading. Obviously, Brownlow had a little bit of a tear up over that one. But I thought some of their signings are good. They got Will Hughes now. They look like they're getting Edouard in. And Ketia was on the card.
Maybe they've won it then. Maybe they've won it. But I think that they're definitely top 5, Crystal Palace in the window.
Yeah.
They're still missing something, Crystal Palace. I think that's the problem. I'm just gonna have a look at my phone and I'll see if I missed anyone on the Premier League. But I just don't think anyone's won it. I think we'll have to assess it tomorrow.
I think what we'll have to do, mate, is we'll have to get you back on when I do mine, when the window's done, and we can fully have a look at everyone, because this has been a mad streak, because we just quickly sort of tried to go through all the big deals that's happened this summer, all the ones that sort of happened today, and try and cram it down into about an hour and 15 minutes, which I think we've done a pretty sterling job of, to be honest. I think
contestants: Villa, Leicester, Palace.
Yeah,
we'll have to see tonight.
We'll have to see. So, like I said, it's a long way to go. Villa, Mustafa makes the point of Villa, saying Tuanzebe, Ashley Young, Bailey, Buendia, Danny Ings as well. I think, do you know what? I just think if they kept Grealish, okay, maybe they wouldn't have got some of them players in. If they kept Grealish in that team, I think they would have been up there. Seriously, winning the window. But obviously that doesn't happen, and we can't. We can only dream of what could have happened maybe at Villa. But finally, Jules Koundé. I've had a lot of people talk about Jules Koundé to Chelsea and stuff. I don't think it's going to happen. You think it will?
No, it won't. It won't. Sorry, it won't. I'm not being interesting, but they're not going to spend 80 million on him.
No, I like sort of said, it's like 70 million release clause or something for him to go, and it's like, are Chelsea going to splash that money late on? Maybe. It wouldn't surprise me, but I just don't think they will. If they got that centre back in, Chelsea, is that like a good window for them in terms of?
They need a midfielder. I've spoken to Pav. They need a midfielder definitely to even be in the conversation. I think they've really sort of not backtracked, but you can tell they spent 200 million last year, in my opinion. I think that they are in need of 2-3 more players to be to actually say they've won the window. So maybe Everton will win it by tonight. If we get a backup right back and we get in Rondon. You can't complain at the FFP crisis we've had. That is the best. I think that's the best thing we could have done. If we get all 3 targets tonight, I think we're in the running for it. I think Villa will be first, and I think that we'll be second. Or we'll be third, actually, and then put Palace second. Villa, Palace, Everton. That's how I would put it, because we've done the best in our FFP crisis.
Nice. I like that. So we're looking at Rondon, Diaz, and sorry, was the other one again?
Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
That's it. Maitland-Niles in for Everton before midnight tonight, or maybe even just after midnight. But you get
that's why I'm staying live for like a little bit after. You know what I mean? Because I know someone's going to pop off at Everton. It always does. So that's why I'm staying a little bit live after 11.
Yeah, I might have to. I'll definitely come back and be watching it late on, and I might see if I can pop on late on as well in case you're still going.
You're welcome anytime on it. Just drop me a message in the comment section, or even just come in. Just come in the studio. Yeah. That's my only fear. Thing is, if everyone joins in tonight and they're all just in the studio, I'm like,
so there's only 10 people. It's like, get out. He's on our team as well.
Who?
Luke. Luke's on our team, isn't he?
Yeah, is he? Yeah, Luke's on our team. Is he? Wait, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, content creators go. We forgot about Luke. We got to put him in. Is he a goalkeeper?
I don't know. Get his mate. Get his brother. Sorry, isn't it? Harry.
Mate.
Get him in.
To be fair, I just want a Luke in goal so he can tell with the defence to get out.
Mate, put him centre back. He's so good at centre back. He's phenomenal. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Well, do you know what? That's going to wrap us up for today. Okay. We've quickly blasted through. We probably missed stuff, but AO. I thought I'd get this done just in case. You know, I think I thought this is better than nothing. And secondly, in case I don't make it on Kieran's live tonight, then at least I've got something out with Kieran as well. So Kieran, thank you again for your time. I really I hollered you a bit late, and I appreciate you being a little bit free. And again, if you haven't checked out Kieran, I literally don't know what you're doing with your life. So go and check him out. Massive live stream tonight over on his channel, 6 till midnight. I should be on there at some point, fingers crossed. But if I'm not on there, loads and loads of other content.
So the two opening acts, I say. So the two people who will be on first will be AJ and Millsy coming on first. And we've got so many other people on. And the closing act, I guess to say, will be Alfie, Lloyd, Daslow and Mo. So come along for some of it, I would say. And Georgia, I know a lot of you love Georgia, don't you? And all that. So she's coming on at 9, by the way. So
lovely.
For the regulars, that's when they're coming on. And yeah.
Lovely stuff. So yeah, make sure you go check out Kieran tonight, because he's going to be popping off. Hopefully Everton sign 3 players. Hopefully United get a defensive midfielder. But don't count your chickens, because you never know. It's football. If you aren't already subscribed to us, make sure you please do so. Try and get us to 90 subs. Much appreciated. If you haven't followed us on TikTok, do so. Go on, enlighten.
We've made an improved offer for Maitland-Niles. It's happening. It's happening. I'm telling you now. We're signing Ainsley Maitland-Niles, lads. We are signing them. That's
going to be interesting. I'm not going to be off my phone on Twitter today. I'm just going to be refreshing. It's going to be mental. But yeah, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and on TikTok. Our usernames, our ats are all over the gaff, so make sure you go check us out. Thank you for watching. We will be back again soon to go through the Premier League, etc., etc. Who won the transfer window? We'll finally have an answer, because, like I said, it's still a long way to go. Everton can win it. So, again, thank you all for watching. Thanks again to Kieran for popping on. And we will see you all later in a bit.